Hello my lovely crafty people and welcome back. Today I am working on my Be Happy Stationery craft team, design team make, and I want to create like an accordion folio pocket to pop all the stuff in from the kit that I'm going to choose. I have no idea which kit I'm going to choose yet, so I'm just going to create the folio. And then I think I'm going to choose one of the mushroom kits, maybe both the mushroom kits, but I will add the link to those in the description when I upload this video. So I've got 2 quite decorative envelopes and 5 plain ones. And what I'm going to do is create an accordion. So the first step is I've stuck the flaps down. And then using... ta-da, and ta-da, using my craft knife, I'm just going to cut the very top of the envelopes out so that it creates an instant pocket. And it's the easiest way to create pockets ever. I use envelopes quite a lot in my makes, particularly with pockets, because it just gives you that stability and it's already stuck down and reduces a little bit of time. My envelopes I've either picked up from the scrap store or I pick up with quite a few charity shops. You can go in and just pick up like writing packs, and quite often they have some really nice envelopes in. So yeah, I just grab envelopes whenever I see them and I just keep them. I've got a whole box of envelopes, varying colours, shapes, sizes. So I'm just going to trim down the tops of all the envelopes. Okay. Oh. You'll notice I have turned my cutting mat over, so I haven't got those really like centimetre guidelines, but it was getting so worn. It had created ridges, so I couldn't cut straight because the ridges were guiding the knife. So that is my pockets. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them face to face, but I don't want to stick them all the way along. So I'm going to stick them so they're kind of leaving a bit of a gap. And I'm just going to stick there we go. So that one. And that one face to face. Okay, and let's do the next one. I like this glue. It's really quite satisfying that it's purple, but it dries clear. Little things. Making sure I get the open tops at the top. And then I might grab another one actually to just make these a little bit stronger. I've got this jotter pad, so I'm just going to take out 2 sheets. It's a little bit like watercolour paper, but it's quite fabricy, but it's a nice thickness. And I'm just going to measure up slightly less than the pocket pencil. Okay, so I want them slightly smaller than the envelope, and I'm just going to do this to strengthen the envelope. So I'm going to cut just inside the lines. There you go. turn it round. Just inside the lines. There you go. And then just to check that they fit inside. Right, there we go. Probably would have been easier to do this before I stuck the envelope down. Let's just take off another millimetre or two off the end. That just gives it that little bit of room. Okay. And then glue all around one side, because I want this, I don't want it to create another pocket. What I want it to do is strengthen the outside of the folio. So just going to slide that in. There you go. And we're just going to stick that down. Not to worry that it's slightly hanging over, I can trim that up in a bit. So it's just given the front of that pocket a bit more strength. Let's do the same with this one. Slide it in. Down. Right, so what we have, let's just trim that one off a little bit so we've not got the excess hanging over. There you go. And that one's fine. So what we've got now is we've got kind of, you know, like those document wallets, we've got pockets there, we've got pockets there, and I'm going to stick that onto the back of that one, and then this onto the back of this one. So let's do that, and again we're just going to stick, yeah, we'll just stick in the middle, but a little bit wider than we did for the folio insert. So we're just going to stick that on there. Now these envelopes are slightly smaller, but I do want it kind of flush at the bottom. And then we'll do the same. Yeah, I might not use that one. Yeah, let's use that one. So we're going to go in there. Lining this one up. And we'll do some more gluing. Lining those ones up. And then we had more glue. And we want to just line up the bottom one. There we go. So I'm just going to give that a really good press down. And then you can see, so we've got pocket, 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 pocket. What I am going to do with these middle pockets, and I probably should have done this before, is I am going to just punch half a circle in the middle. Let's just lift that up. Is that roughly in the middle? Okay, so you've got proper folio. Okay, but you could probably do that top one there as well. I probably should have done that before. Yep, okay, and we'll do this one. Slightly smaller stamp, but still works. There we go. Right, so there is my folio pocket. I may add some tape down here just to strengthen it. But you can see we've got all the pockets. I'm probably going to add a hole punch and some ribbon there. So let's punch that hole now so we know what's going on. And then there, that's quite a nice place. Do again on the other side, just on the edge of the pattern. And now I've got to go and download from Sandra Be Happy Stationery's Ko-fi shop. I'm going to go download a kit, decide which one I want to use, and then we're going to pop that into the accordion file with some ribbon to tie it up. Okay, I'll be back with you soon. And we're back, and I decided to go with the Be Happy Toadstool Forest kit. So here's some more of the kit that I haven't used in my make, but I will keep it to one side for another time. So this is she did two versions, one with a blush colour scheme and one with a muted colour scheme. And I printed both. And how lovely are these? Lots of layers. Lots of beautiful tones, really lovely use of some of the images and some text. I do just love the little additions of the fairies, the little fox, some autumn pumpkins. And then for my make, so I did punch and I added some ribbon. And I used two of the pockets out of the kit on either side, into which I've just put some stickers of mushrooms, toadstools and autumn leaves. And then inside, I haven't filled all the pockets, but there was one sheet that had 4 images on, and I stuck those onto postcards and made some postcards. I cut out all the tags and added some string to them. There was some circles which I cut out, and then I've stamped on the backs. They can be used as like little journal cards. And I've done the same in there. So there's the postcard, some tags, circle, and then I had some of my own washi tape that's kind of stamps, so I stuck that on and popped that in there as well. And then also in the kit there were some stamps, so I've cut those out and just popped them in. I used one sheet of the kit which I stuck onto card, and it's a reflection of the same image, so I stuck that onto card, and then I cut out some paper to the same similar shape and just created a little booklet, quite like that. That's quite cute. So that's just in the middle. And then on the other side, we've got more postcards, more tags, more stamps and little journal cards. And then finally another postcard, some more tags. So these are the tags from both kits, and the circles are from both kits. And again, I've just made those into little mini journal cards. And then using just this little bit of ribbon, just thread that through the hole. I haven't filled all of the pockets. They're there for later if I decide to make more things out of the kit. But so it's not a huge make this month, because I've got lots else going on, but I wanted to just showcase Sandra from Be Happy Stationery's lovely kit and just have a quick make. And I wanted to have a go at one of these little folio pockets. So there we go. There we are with Be Happy Stationery. Follow her on YouTube. She has a Facebook group, Junk Journal Community Chat, and also her Ko-fi shop where you can purchase this kit. Okay, thanks for watching.